Theodore Roosevelt was born on October 27, 1858. When Roosevelt was a child, he felt weak due to his asthma, so his father taught him how to box, to toughen him up, and this mentality was reflected through his entire life. Roosevelt went to Harvard in 1878 and then soon became married to Alice Lee and joined the Republican Party in 1880. In 1884, he had his first child, a daughter, but we don't like to talk about her. Later that year, both his mother and his wife died on the same day. Roosevelt moved to South Dakota and became a deputy sheriff, but after losing his livestock to the winter, he decided to move back to New York. You see, after Roosevelt moved back to New York, he married Edith Kermit Caro Roosevelt and became police chief, and due to his badassery, he became assistant secretary in the Navy in 1897. He wasn't a secretary for too long because he wanted to get in on that action over in Cuba, leading to the Rough Riders battle in the Spanish-American War. After becoming a war hero, he went on to become mayor of New York. He ran for the presidential election of 1884 and became vice president. After McKinney got assassinated, he became the 26th president and the youngest president at 43 years old of the United States. On May 12, 1902, some 1,400,000 coal miners went on strike, enough miners to put the whole country's coal supply in danger. Roosevelt intervened in October, helping the workers get better working conditions and ending their anthracite coal strike. Roosevelt went after big business on February 14, 1903, when he created the Department of Commerce and Labor to keep big businessmen like J.P. Morgan in check, to make sure workers get their rights and preventing strikes like that of the anthracite coal strike. Congress continued pursuing big business, approving the Elkins Anti-Rebate Act on the 19th to try and regulate railroads. That same day, the Department of Justice announced the federal government would prosecute J.P. Morgan for Northern Securities Company for violating the Sherman Trust Act, and in March 1904 the company dissolved. Roosevelt wanted to help build a canal in Columbia to connect the west and east coast and help seafarers of the world as a whole travel quicker. Columbia thought it was too pricey, so in November of 1903 he backed a local revolution in exchange for the creation of the new nation Panama. He got the Panama Canal. Roosevelt of course got a second term in 1905. On December 6, he issued the Roosevelt Corollary to the Monroe Doctrine to become a Western Hemisphere police. In February, he establishes the National Forest Service to keep landscapes of America wild. Roosevelt got Russia and Japan to sit down and talk and stop fighting, getting a Nobel Peace Prize and keeping an open door policy with China. Theodore Roosevelt signed the Hepburn Act in 1906 to give the Interstate Commerce Commission increased regulation power of railroads. In 1906, Upton Sinclair published The Jungle that described the conditions in Chicago's slaughterhouse industry. Then Roosevelt got Congress to pass the Meat Inspection Act and Pure Food and Drug Act of 1906 on July 30th that year. That year, he also created the Antiques Act to protect the beautiful landscapes of America such as Yellowstone and the Grand Canyon, classifying them as national parks. On June 8th in 1908, Roosevelt established the National Commission for the Conservation of Natural Resources. After Roosevelt's presidency, he went to Africa and hunted more than 1,100 animals, sending live specimens to the Smithsonian and many other zoos. In 1906, Theodore Roosevelt won the Nobel Peace Prize. He returned to the U.S. in 1910 and saw that what Taft was up to. He made his own political party, the Progressive Party, and lost the election. He went to South America in 1913 and caught malaria, weakening his immune system greatly, aiding to his eventual death in his sleep in 1919. Theodore Roosevelt was a cool guy. The end. Oh shit, I did not mean to start recording. Shit. After moving back, he remarried to Edith Kermit Caro Roosevelt. Okay. After moving back, he remarried... that... Oh. Hello, my name is Dog. On May 9th... Roosevelt interviewed on what Ethan you Congress continued pursuing Roosevelt wanted to build a canal in Columbia to connect the west and east coast and help seafarers on the world. Oh my god. Getting a Nobel Peace Prize in the process. Okay. After Roosevelt's